she was eaten. She was eaten by a mama black bear and one of her cubs. Just got her all shined up, and it's time to get her dirty again. This thing only stays clean for like a day. Just got to the trail, heading in to check cameras and work on a way to get to my hunt spot. I'll talk more about that once we're in the woods. What I'm doing is airing down. If you go to a tire shop, they will only put load-rated E-tires on these Ram 2500s. And I don't know, they run higher air pressure on the road. I usually run 40 or 45 in the front and about 55 in the rear to 50 in the rear when I'm not towing. Then I'll air up when I'm towing. But I'm going down to 30 in the front and 40 in the rear for the trail. You can kind of see we got a little bulge there. It really softens the ride and you can go a lot faster. It probably doesn't make up for the time that you have to stop to air down and air up, but it makes the ride much better. I'm going to finish going around, airing down. Got my air down tool here. Makes it go very fast. It takes me about 30 seconds to air down each tire. It's a nice looking moose. It's about I'd say that's 150 yards. National Forest. I don't know how close you can get to them, but I've seen them out in the woods and I had to make a wide berth because they were not interested in going the other way. 25, 30 yards. I'm at the spot. Truck's parked, made it here okay. This is the first section up this mountainside. It's pretty clear, easy to navigate. Then you get to the ridge line. That's even clearer and easy to navigate. But there is this kind of middle third section that is impassable. Yeah, I say that, and I always get through it. But I always go through a different angle, and I never come into the meadow the way I want to because I get too turned around trying to pick my way through the deadfall. I'm making my way up this trail, and someone else has been maintaining this trail in years past. You can see right through here things are sawed off, and not sure how old, but there's a lot of people that hunt up here, so it is what it is. You got some trimmings on that tree there going this way, but and we've got this. That's been there a couple of years. This is probably from last year. Definitely from last year. This is pretty fresh. It's still not advanced along in the summer for them to be doing rubs this year of 2021. Here's an example. What I'm talking about is picking your way through here. You gravitate towards the path of least resistance, and sometimes you just keep going this way and this way, but you got to go through, a whole bunch of logs. Well, I'm, I don't know, maybe an eighth of a mile away from that meadow, but it gets so thick, gets super thick right around the perimeter of both deadfall and growth. Well, it may sound like I'm being a bitch, but this is not easy. So close, so close. And I may backtrack and try to take a game trail. I'm trying to stay off the used game trails. That was another point of this whole excursion, is to find a way in where I'm not coming in on their trails. I don't know if you get an idea of the depth perception of how big these logs are and how high they're piled up. That's probably 4 feet off the ground, this one here. We're getting close. I can see the meadow right through there. Alright, made it to the meadow. Just made a beeline into the meadow. And coming down, I see my first camera. And I see some older beds here. This is waist high, super green, lush grass. I'm not sure if my tree, I think I see my tree stand. And the first camera. This is like over waist deep here. Here's the first camera. And my tree stand is still there. We'll see if the tree steps are still there. I'm gonna just be replacing the batteries in the SD cards and trying to make my way out of here. What time is it? It is 10 after 5. So I got another 2 hours, 7 o'clock-ish before I can get back to the truck. I'm gonna go down and check the next one. I'll kind of have a little bit of a bummer of one of the SD cards I brought up is showing an error in both cameras. And another bummer is half of the trail that I blazed in here. Pretty much useless. I need to come in off this hillside, and I've got a trail coming in this way. So I went through where my thumb is. That's not what I wanted. I should have stayed up on this ridge line and looped around, staying on top of this ridge line and dropping in. So my trail up to here is good, but my trail from here all the way to here is a waste. And that's where most of the work is. So I got to go back and make it so I don't take that trail and remark in this looping one that stays up and follows those ridge lines all the way down into this meadow. So I'm going to start a new track with this GPS and head out, staying on those ridge lines and just seeing what happens and how bad the deadfall is. I have a feeling it's going to be less than what I had because I always seem to take that way out and this way in. Taking a little too long of a break. It is 5:35. Not that bad. Doesn't get dark until real late, 8:30, something like that. But as I'm sitting here having my sandwich, drinking some water out of the platypus, I'm thinking about all the people who die every year backpacking and hiking in Colorado. And that's just Colorado. I mean, it probably happens in all these western states. I mean, I think just a couple weeks ago we had a school teacher turn up dead. Went out for a hike outside of Boulder, I think. I can't really remember where she was. But fell off a cliff and died. And I just don't understand how these people just keep falling off cliffs or turning up dead. Like go missing and they find their body months later. Got my Garmin InReach. You guys have seen that, I showed you earlier. I got a tourniquet in my pocket. I've got I don't know if I were to run into a mountain lion. It does happen. People are attacked by mountain lions. I wouldn't say every year, but I'd say maybe every other year in Colorado. People are attacked by black bears. There was just a woman down in Durango earlier this summer. I think it was spring. She was eaten. She was eaten by a mama black bear and one of her cubs, because they actually found the bears and did an autopsy, and they found human parts of a human body inside the mother and one of the cubs. Crazy. It probably wouldn't happen here. We get that bear-human contact usually closer to trails, campgrounds, neighborhoods that are up in the mountains. Bears that are out here should be really afraid of humans and take their cubs and go up a tree or go away. And if they don't, I better be a good shot. I'm a pretty good shot. This will be the last scouting trip for probably at least a month. And the next scouting trip is not going to be in this area. This spot is for future years, actually, so I don't really need to find and blaze that trail here this season. It'd be nice to get done, but the next scouting trips, they may only be half-day scouting trips because the state wildlife area is about an hour and a half from my house. Maybe a little bit more, hour and 40 minutes from my house to the parking lot of the SWA. And then certain ones have trails. You take the bike out or hike. Some of them have roads that go up, but they close them in hunting season. So that is where we're going to be doing muzzleloader deer hunting. So I got to focus on that the rest of the season. I won't be hunting here, and hopefully I'll make another trip up to get the one camera that I have over there. And man, these bugs are horrible. I don't know, I'm gonna leave it up. I'll leave it up till fall and come back and grab it. So far it's been such an easy hike, just going straight up to this ridge line and up this way. That deadfall is all in that valley that goes up. Got some fresh deer tracks. I need to find out if I can get any sort of deer tag on a second choice for this area. There's more deer here than I've seen other places. Right there is the ridge line. You can see how it just drops right off the edge there. Whew, so I made it back, and it only took me 50 minutes. I want to get that down to 30 minutes with a more direct trail. So I'm going to show you the damage that this truck suffered on the way up here. Didn't mention anything about it earlier, but come with me. So if I didn't have this topper on, I would just be buffing out a scratch. But it's much more than a scratch now. So I had a stick hit the truck, slide up this way, and plow into there. It actually shoved this whole thing back. You can see the cab of the truck's dented. I don't know if you can see in there. The fiberglass of the front of this truck cap is all tore up and ripped. The window's broken. Yeah. Take a look at that. Oh, take a look at that. The window's broken. So, it doesn't look that bad. Oh, and it fell and flipped out and another piece dented right there. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. I don't know how they're going to do it. But I'll be giving updates, see how it goes with Amica Insurance. Yeah, I had waxed the wheels yesterday. Everything was all armor-alled. Like I said, it only stays clean for a day, maybe 2 days. Give you a little bit of the view. You can see way back in there. No snow up there. Just some sunshine. So I've been in all parts of the Rocky Mountains, everywhere. And one thing I always find are power lines. Power lines everywhere across the Rocky Mountains. There's a burn area right here. I'll zoom in on that. You see that brown area? How it kind of just worked its way right up the ridgeline. Another little burn spot right in there. All right, we'll see. Hopefully we'll see that moose again on the way out.